All I wanted to do was play Smash Bros in Apple Vision Pro. My kids have been destroying me every time we play, and I wanted to be able to practice without taking up the TV and make the screen as big as I want. But the problem is lag. I tried several ways, which I'll show you. Sometimes it requires a second Apple device with a capture dongle, but it doesn't transfer audio, and it is very laggy. And you can't really hardwire video into Apple Vision Pro unless you have the developer strap, that's $300, and you also need a developer account, which is another $100. Enter this guy. This is an NDI Encoder, which uses NDI to send HDMI video signal over my home network into Vision Pro. And it works. Not only can it stream it up to 4K, it also passes audio from the Nintendo Switch to the Vision Pro. You can leave it connected to your setup because it is HDMI in and out, and multiple people can access that video stream either from two Vision Pros, from an iPad in a Vision Pro, and you can literally play multiplayer Smash Bros in multiple Vision Pros using this method. So the first method I tried was using the Castaway app. This is an app you can run on your iPad and on your Vision Pro. To use this method, you'll need an HDMI to USB-C capture device. I've been using this Guermok one for a long time. It works great and it's not expensive. The 4K version is $28. You can get the 1080p version even cheaper. And there's a variety of great use cases for it. I also didn't want to mess with my permanent Switch 2 dock, so I got this travel dock. Has HDMI out, USB-C to power, and two USB-A ports. They make it for the Switch 2, which is this version, and the Switch OLED. Pretty compact and it's only $33. Links to everything I'm going to talk about in the video description. So we're going to put the Switch 2 in this portable dock. I'm going to connect power. You don't have to use the actual Switch power cable. Any 65-watt brick and USB-C cable will power it. HDMI out here on the dock, and you're good to go. I'll plug the other end of my HDMI into this Guermok USB-C dongle, plug it into my iPad, and the Switch setup is good. You'll actually see the Switch screen turned off because the Castaway app is now sending the signal out. Then here in Apple Vision Pro, you download the Castaway app. I have it right here. And as soon as you open it, it's going to look for nearby devices over the network. Should automatically connect to the app on my iPad. Sometimes I have to quit the app and reopen it on my iPad, but here we go. Now you can already tell it's definitely laggy. Remember, it's sending a signal wirelessly out of the iPad and then wirelessly into the Apple Vision Pro. I also found at times the Castaway app might freeze, but as you can see, it is very laggy. You could still play it-ish, but you're gonna lose some quality, and again, it's just laggy. Let's see if I can beat cloud while I'm literally recording this video. It's not looking good. Yeah, I'll blame the lag on that one. Anyway, this is what I need to practice. The lag isn't great, the quality drops, and most of all, it doesn't pass audio from the iPad to the Apple Vision Pro, so you're playing in silence. Enter this guy. This is an NDI Encoder. NDI just stands for Network Device Interface, but what it does is it takes an HDMI signal, you plug it into Ethernet, it can also be powered over Ethernet, which is nice. You can even add audio as a separate headphone jack, or powered by USB-C, then it's going to send whatever video signal it's getting over your home network. This offers much stable connection, better frame rates, and you can even leave it plugged into your setup permanently because you can go HDMI in from the Switch and then back out to your TV. Plug it into my home network here, and switch to with the HDMI in. It'll power on, and it really doesn't require any setup. Once you plug it in, it goes to a default IP address. You can also see the IP address on the screen. You log in with admin, and then you're in. Now this particular box can do 4K up to 60 frames per second, but I did find that when I have the Switch 2 at 4K, it starts getting a little laggy. So I leave it at 1080. You can see the box is getting video signal up here, and there's some settings you can change, like the quality and even audio, but I literally changed no settings here. Now for an NDI device, apparently you can use the PlayStation Portal app, but I found this app called Vxio, V-X-I-O. When you open the Vxio app, it's going to give you any NDI device that's on your network available as a source to select right here. Just tap the source and you're in. And as you can tell, it's also passing audio via that HDMI connection. I can adjust the volume right here, and I can also tap the name of the source up here. I can take screenshots. I can open the settings for the actual NDI encoder. But that's it. Now I have my Switch 2 in my Apple Vision Pro over NDI using the network, and this is going to be way faster. And because it's Vision Pro, I can make this window as large as I want and see every frame of this fight. Let's try this one more time. I definitely want a rematch, so let's try it. As you can tell, the frame rate and the smoothness of playback is way better. It's not perfect, but it's really good. Okay, maybe it wasn't the frame rate. But anyway, way faster here using that NDI connection. But one other discovery I made, I had the original M2 Apple Vision Pro that I bought personally, and this is an M5 review unit from Apple, and the M5 makes a difference. Even on that 1080p setting, using the same app with the same setup, the M2 Apple Vision Pro gets more laggy than the M5. But as you can see with these same settings, the M2 Apple Vision Pro can struggle at times. It's still playable, and it's still better than the Castaway app, but it's not as good as the M5. Now, the M5 doesn't have any faster wireless, which I do really wish they would have put Wi-Fi 7 in it, but this is the M2 Apple Vision Pro, introduced 2024, and you can see it just has Wi-Fi 6, 802.11ax. And the newer M5 Apple Vision Pro that was just released, still just Wi-Fi 6. So it's not that the M5 has faster Wi-Fi to get that video signal. The only thing it really can be is that M5 chip decoding the video over the NDI signal over the network, because the wireless is exactly the same. And multiple devices can access that NDI video stream at the same time. So me and my son Asher, who's been streaming more on Twitch and has a YouTube channel, he would love if you subscribed and followed, so I'll put his links at the top of the description. But he was using my older M2 Vision Pro, I was with the M5, and we were both able to see the NDI video stream using the Vxio app and play multiplayer Switch 2, both of us in Vision Pro, and it actually worked. And even though he had the older Vision Pro, he beat me most rounds except for one round, which I'm going to show you in a second. But you could also have this set up HDMI out to your TV, so some people could be playing in Apple Vision Pro, some people can be watching the physical TV. Once that video signal is on your network, there's a lot of possibilities. And when it comes to NDI boxes, there are a bunch on Amazon. This is the best one I've found that's also 4K. This one's $170. I didn't try this one personally. I wanted to get the most recommended one, which Gemini told me, was this one, the Kiloview N40 Plus. It is $700, which is ridiculous. I think I am going to try the cheaper boxes to see if they work just as well as this $700 one, but it also has features like PTZ camera control, which you're not going to use with this kind of setup. The cheaper one supposedly also has HDMI out, so I'm going to get this to try, and if it works, just look at my pinned comment below this video, and if this one works, I'll let you know down there. But the cool part is that HDMI signal, once it's NDI on your network, you can access it from any device. So even on an iPad, you can download the Vxio app, and I can just as quickly access my Switch 2 here. So basically, as long as your Switch 2 controller is in range of the physical Switch 2, you can play it on whatever device, Vision Pro, iPad, and if someone else is using the TV, you can do it here. Now this is an M5 iPad Pro. It should be just as fast as that Apple Vision Pro. For some reason, it does feel a little more laggy here on the iPad, but still way better than the Castaway app, and it still passes through audio. And remember, this works with any HDMI signal. So you can use this setup with your PS5, your Xbox, a gaming PC, and you can play all those devices and games in Apple Vision Pro as big as you want on your iPad in another room. Again, as long as the controller can reach the actual game console, you're good to go. Now, you do need a home network, so this isn't really a portable setup, but get subscribed because I'm getting Apple's developer strap. It's coming soon. And supposedly there are some apps that can take in that HDMI input using the capture card directly to Vision Pro, and then you can have a portable setup to have switch in Vision Pro wherever you go. If you have any questions though, leave them down in the comments. Again, if that cheaper NDI HDMI encoder works, look at that pinned comment. I'll leave a link there. Also, if you're new here, welcome. I cover a lot of Apple stuff, tips and tricks, lots of shortcuts and home automation, so get subscribed, hit that like button. And for the last few minutes of this video, I'll let you enjoy the one round I actually beat my son in Smash Bros. We were playing multiplayer, both of us with Apple Vision Pro, and it was a pretty cool experience. Here you go. I did get beaten by a level 9 CPU Jigglypuff. I was pretty mad.
Wait, you got beat by a Jigglypuff on the video?
On CPU.
Yeah, but like, was it in the video?
It might have been, I don't know.
Really?
The Jigglypuff! I didn't mean to.
Really?
Ah, I should have Falcon Punch. Ah! Why do you keep doing that?
No!
Perfect.
Wait. There we go. Really?
Ah!
Thank you.
Ah!
Yeah! I don't like that you're learning stuff. You should stop that.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, let's keep him guessing. Ah! Yes! Another Jigglypuff round.